Silent Service here, back with another Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts live stream. Now, carrying on from last time with my bankrupting navy, which, for those of you being like, oh, you need to reduce your research budget, reducing the research budget, it only takes away 28 million of my income. I have negative 80 million. I think the Condorcet refits might have something to do with it. Then also I believe the entire Redan class, well, members of the Redan class I should say, more specifically like the Requans as well. They are expensive. Thing is, there's a price difference between, like, the Requan and Diderot are all the same price, but then with the same stuff, Ocean and whatever this one is properly named, however you say it, is cheaper. Then, like, yeah, there's Tourville and Sarlet. Then it's the Condorcets. Well, no, actually. It's not going in price order. But, oh, God. Speaking of the Redan class, they are going into another refit. Oh yeah, he's just thinking the Redan class and cost is less than the modern cruisers. My God. My God, my cruisers are expensive. And I knew this episode was more than likely going to be somewhat stressful, so I brought cranberry juice. That's always what I just bring along whenever there's any sort of instance I know is going to be a bit stressful. What the hell does that mean by too far from previous placement? The Barbette has been there. Right. So, like I previously mentioned, these things are being given new twin 15-inch guns. Hold on a sec, the 15s can't fire over, can they? No. Okay. Not as previously mentioned, these things are going to be refitted with triple 14-inch guns like they initially had in their initial design phase. That works for them. Yeah. Definitely not because we can't superfire the 15s. Definitely because of that, actually, viewers. Still semi-oil. The Redans are being equipped now with turbo electrics. Still only have Citadel 3. Yeah, we'll still need to keep that torpedo at the back there. Oh, we don't have stereoscopic free yet. Make that inner deck an inch. 14-inch guns and 4-inch guns. Yep. The Verduns are going into refit. Here's the funny thing. Ships in refit on the fleet side cost less than if they were not in refit. So the Verdun's only 3 years after their previous refits go into another one. Scrap you and Verdun. Verdun is... Verdun's going to a museum. We keep the lead or the surviving longest, depending on which one is applicable, of each class left as museum ships. Okay, so the Verdun 1920 design is gone. The Sarlots, I want to wait a bit before their next upgrade. We got rid of those guys, so the Crescent class are going into refit. Semi-auto, 20-inch torpedoes. Still the 4.7s, yep, it's good. Better Krupp. Turbo electric drive. Shaft 1. There's still 33 knots. Yep. Oh god, there's a quick way to go through all my ships to refit them, but like just staying in that build screen, but oh well. Seeing as there's so little of them left, and well, their year is only a secondary factor here, but those guys are going to the scrappers. DS3 since 1914, so the Argonauts been for 1914. Our oldest 2 ships are in for refits. Next on the refit chopping block is the Capitaine. Capitaine class destroyers, which were of my original crash building type. Somewhat crash build type, I should say. And these guys, as well as getting upgraded to 20-inch. We'll get another quad set there. That there. That's semi-auto loaders. And that. Next up is the torpedo heavy secondary war emergency program. These guys get decalibered to my favourite caliber. For those of you who haven't guessed it already, it's 4.7 inch. 0.7. Considering the fact these are torpedoes over guns, I'm actually going to reduce their gun numbers so they prioritize torpedoes. I'll No, I can't sacrificing a knot of speed won't do it. What else to sacrifice? As cold as ice, willing to sacrifice. It's a destroyer. Sacrifice survivability over the layout. Okay, I'll keep him with some auxiliary. Yep. And Mr. Torpedo over, well, guns over torpedo. Just gonna get a bit of better distance in between their guns on the stern. The bow torpedo is up 20-inch. Reloading I didn't even set these turrets up properly. Damn, these things were coordinated. My God, I've been caught using cordite. I've used cordite. Oh my God. Someone please erase that memory from my mind. Yep, part of the guns over torpedoes philosophy. Now, Distress. No, she hasn't got an auto-loading capabilities because of when her last refit was. Semi-auto cape ability. Your torpedo's got 20 inches now. You go up to bankrupt. Yeah, there's no better fucking things there. Yep, DS3s. Well done, you've completed refit. Sakoof. Sakoof is that. Oh my god, it's overweight. And range lowering. And then everything up to Verdun. Oh, did I give the Verdun semi-autos? Yes, I did give the refitted Verdun semi-autos. Okay. That's going to be the extent of my refits as of right now. So, yeah, the Reduns, the Captains. All for a month. So the old Captain design. The 2 destroyer designs. And then DS3s and Sakoof 1921 designs will be going. There's members of that class that could be refit, but right now cannot because under repairs. Repairing for a month? Not anymore, my friend. That was weird. So the Velican status refit repairing. Yeah. Good day. We have new Dreadnought hulls available. For a bit, though, obviously, because right now my Navy's budget cannot hold. I'm not helping the Navy's bankruptedness, though, but... being. I only just sent you out. Okay. I type everything under DD is going into limited. Help the budget a little bit. Veterans. Regular, veterans, regular. Sakoof, limited. Condorcet, limited. Your crew's regular. Limited for your crews being regular. The rec ones all into limited. Fleet, everyone not in limited, go to limited. God, I love cranberry juice. I was in Austria-Hungary and I was in Britain. Policies, how is us in Britain? We're still positive with Britain. I don't want that. I want war with Britain. Although, obviously, wait a bit for my GDP to recover. It's a bit of a balancing act of saving my country's GDP and saving my Navy's budget. Oh yeah, having a bit of help my budget might do good in some circles, mine included. But I realise that our GDP will take a hit. %. That's how much the research budget, the researchers will, that's how much of the allocated research budget the researchers would get. But the condensates are out. Everyone's out of refit now, so this is unacceptable. Our budget cannot be cut further. If you cut our budget further, you will be having the fact we lose a war to contend with. Britain, Austria, Hungary, and my God, that's increased our relations with Britain. God. Maybe there is need for some diplomatic accidents to happen involving Britain and us, and the British would no longer like us. Okay, we've got stereoscopic 3, which means now swap that research priority to big guns. And cruiser design. Right, let's see what designs we have available now. Like what hulls we have available. So we have Modernised Dreadnought and Dreadnought 4. No, Dreadnought 6 I mean. So that's what we used for. So this hull's the next logical step up. So is this one as well. But it's the one with British. It's got British like main towers though. That's the thing. Oh well. Okay, so could I fit a standard barbette there and there? We're going back to ABXY, BXY, I actually want to make this thing as small as possible, because we need ships on the cheap. And to get a ship on the cheap, we're going to need to take as little room as possible. And as little cost as possible, whilst still being acceptable. So 15-inch guns is going to be the way forward on the mains. Well, no, that secondary tower there actually would be great for secondary 555s. Fitting 4 inches there. Could I fit in 5s on top of there? No. Fit more 4s there. But I can move this stuff further back and reduce our forward offset. No! Fucking hell. And then the funnels. Induced semi-oil gear turbines. 30 knots. If I reduce the draught and also insulate the beam, there we go. 151 million just for this. For comparison, my Rec ones costed Fuck. Trying to cheap out and Look where cheaping out is getting me. With more costs than savings. These stuff are a guarantee you've gotta have. Base fuse can't. You would think making larger and smaller shells would alter the costs. Seems not. Let me just quickly finish refilling my bottle here. Cap here, I mean. Right. Heavy. Semi-auto electricals. 2 powder, stereoscopic, hydro, and advanced. Shit. This thing's weight is coming up, cost is coming up a lot more than what I want it to be. Here's how we reduce it further. Remove and replace more of the 15s with that's cheaper. Made this thing cheaper. Still. Fives there. We've lowered the weight. Well, with how quick this thing is, I think I could make more reductions. In the protection standpoint, because these guys are using speed over survivability. Build time's less than the others, I should say that at least. Yeah, I could maybe get away with anti-flood 2 as well. Yeah, it's the cheapest option. Cordate's a cheaper option. But my flash fire chance goes up exponentially. 66.5. Yeah. But reduce the amount of shells carried, because then it reduces the costs of the shells. I can definitely say this was still a destroyer's worst nightmare. Right. Main belt. 18-inch. Forebelt. 4.7-inch. With an aft of 4. Main deck is going to be 8-inch with a 2 aft, 2.74. Inner belt is 6 inches. Inner deck 3, 2. $18.5 inches, 4-inch, 2.5, 7. Okay, I say we've got a good class here, and this is the Verdun 2. The Verdun II. Oh god, no, that was all capitals. What capital there? E-R-D-U-N. The Verdun 2. Verdun the second. Verdun the second. The caps lock there. Verdun the second, which is a 35,000 ton, well, near enough 35,000 ton cheap battleship, who's really a battle cruiser, but because we don't have any modern battle cruiser hulls, that's what we've got for it. I'm just thinking, for the modernised Dreadnought hull, what the devs should do is they should make variations of the modernised Dreadnought hull, and then have those variations set for one particular hull type, and then when you refit those particular hull types, then you can set those hull types to be modernised to the modernised Dreadnought for that hull. So, like, let's say you have a Dreadnought 1, well, Dreadnought 2 hull, or Dreadnought 1, whichever one the Voltaires were on, of the French here, for example, and the modernised Dreadnought hull stuff comes around, and the devs should do a specific hull for if a Dreadnought of that type was modernised, and then these things tend to happen. Alright, we could add more to our research budget. And I think another Verdun the Second can come out. Holy sh! No! Fucking hell. This is what happens when your budget cannot sustain research. We're technologically behind on everything but cruisers, really. Well, shit. Doesn't tell me what we're technologically behind on. I think it's protection stuff, it's the rangefinders, it's engine and boiler tech, loads of stuff. Seeing as we're still, I believe, still ahead on cruisers. Let's move on another month. And the last of the Verdun the Seconds are going to be built. No, it's not going to be built. Never mind. It's going to bankrupt our nation. Enhanced electro-hydro turrets. Okay. Right now, deprioritize that actually and just prioritize that. But this is the first time I've ever seen or had a nation that's technologically behind. French. Oh no, we're going to be going with Austria-Hungary again. War between Britain and Italy. We're on Italy's side of that. I think it's time we pressure the British. The entire Atlantic fleet is death stacking off their shores. And what they are hoping for is a war to break out. Research budget can go back. Don't focus on guns, just focus on boilers for right now. boilers and explosives. Send you guys up to just off Scapper. I'm going to have you moved into Toulon. You as well would be moved into Toulon. Yep, we've ruined our budget again. And what for? We're not going to be getting anything with Britain. And then the thing I did against Britain is now actually making that entire thing worse. Okay, considering the fact we are now at war with AH again, it is time to not ally with Germany. Not ally with Italy. What I'm hoping for here is just one massive fleet battle that would the fleet bridge is against one of the Verduns that got refit back into their original main gun caliber state. Let's fight it. Come here. Right, should be ready very shortly. There you go, Mr. Jack. Mind my headphone. What? Thank you. Right. Prepare for battle. We're into battle. Into battle. Again. For their home. From a far distant land. Our martial combats. The two Argonauts here are going to detach and be their own battle line because these guys can go up to 40, right up to 40. The Argonauts, though, can only go up to 33. And I don't want them being slowed down. The light cruisers here being led by Colbert can go at all different speeds. Like DS3's here, she's the fastest we have of the light cruisers. And then the screening force is led by Sakuf. Sakuf is now leading a larger screening force. And the destroyers all go into one screening force led by the destroyer here. Let's play the simulation. Go like that. Turn off that. AI on, AI off. CV. Yeah, the fleet goes around Verdun, the original class. The original Verdun class. As none of the Verdun IIs, which are only 2 ships strong, are available. That's the battleship. And then News River class goes to the CLs. So those guys are still far away. Like these guys here, yeah, they're here, they're at the fight. We're also really fast to get into the fight. And the Austro-Hungarians are now like, what are these ships? Considering the fact that we've kept these things secret and refused them to be updated into the additions of Jane's fighting ships that has happened since the class was built, using wartime protection stuff because they were originally built during wartime. Okay, so cut the CLs off their battleship. Here comes the destroyer swarm. Save. AI on. Now the heavies will fire with everything they've got at the battleship. The Argonauts finally get in. Oh yeah, the User River class. Alright. Tried to micromanage destroyers and I missed the battleship going down. Sivia took heavy damage. Oh no. I've realised something about the Verdans. I realised that there's a very large area at the forward end of the Verdans that is basically empty space. Right. Okay, so from that battle, we unfortunately lost Guidon. Like, we lost a good ship. But the enemy lost more, and that's going to be the end of this episode, viewers. Hope you enjoyed. Silent Service, go inside.